Okay, so in this lecture we are going to discuss about the what is volume flow rate, what is a mass flow rate, how to apply continuity equation, and what are the different examples of fluid flow types which we saw in the earlier lecture. So first let's discuss about what is the volume flow rate. Now, volume flow rate or discharge is a very important quantity in fluid mechanics. So, it is volume flow rate is represented by the symbol Q. It is also known as the flow discharge or discharge, simply discharge. Now, discharge means, the meaning of discharge is how much volume of fluid is flowing in unit time in any of the fluid flow problem. Let us say if you have a pipe, let's say this is a pipe. Now you will have a cross section of this pipe. This is, let's say the diameter is D. Okay, the diameter is D and it has a velocity of capital V. Alright, and we want to find out how much is the discharge or volume flow rate through this pipe. So this will be the cross section of the pipe, let us say like this. So it will have an area, cross sectional area A. So we want to find out how much volume is flowing through this cross sectional area A in time, in a unit time. So we want how much volume of fluid is flowing through this cross section of the pipe. So if you cut here, you will get a cross section something like this, circular cross section. How much volume of fluid is flowing in unit time. So this is nothing but the volume flow rate or discharge. So it can be given by Q is generally calculated as area of cross section, that is, more correctly it is the flow area of the cross section, then multiplied by the average velocity. So we know the area of the cross section, it is A. So you can find it out from the diameter of the pipe. So you know the diameter of the pipe, we know the area of the cross section of the pipe. So at a section, let us say if this is the section which we are considering 1 1. So discharge here will be equal to A into V, if V is the velocity here. Okay, now see what it physically means, that we will try to see. Area of cross section multiplied by average velocity. Alright, now what is this average velocity? Distance travelled in 1 unit time. So it will represent the distance travelled by the volume of fluid or the section of fluid here in unit time. So let us say in unit time the fluid travels some particular distance x. So let us say this is x. Alright, so it travels a distance x in unit time. Okay, now area into velocity, the meaning of this A into V would be cross sectional area multiplied by this distance. So it will give the volume of this cylinder. If you think closely, what it will give? It will give us the volume of this fluid which has travelled from this point to this point in unit time. Alright, so this is how we get the volume of fluid flowing per unit time, area into velocity. So area has unit meter square and velocity has meters per second. So it is what we will give, we will get meter cube per second, that is volume per unit time. This is nothing but the discharge. You can also imagine it in this way, area into velocity is what? Velocity is distance upon time. Actually it is displacement upon time. Here we so this is the distance traveled or displacement of the fluid here, okay, and displacement into this area will give the volume of this fluid which is enclosed here. So this volume we will get, which has traveled in unit time. So we will get volume upon time. So that is your discharge. So this is your volume flow rate. Now we'll look at what is the mass flow rate. So here the unit of discharge or volume flow rate will be meter cube per second. Now what is the mass flow rate? Mass flow rate is basically the amount of mass flowing per unit time. So how to find this mass flow rate? You see, we know what is the volume flow rate. What is the volume flow rate? It is area into velocity. Now what if we multiply this volume flow rate by the mass density? What we will get? Let's try to do that. So rho into Q. This is nothing but Q. So if you multiply discharge by rho, what you will get? See, Q is what? Area into velocity. So we will get rho A into V. So we are getting rho as, rho is what? The mass density, mass per unit volume. So it is mass per unit volume into, we have area, then velocity is what? Distance upon time. So we have mass upon volume into, this is nothing but volume upon time. So volume will get cancelled and we are getting mass per unit time, which is nothing but kilogram per second. So it represents, rho into Q is nothing but the mass flow rate. So it represents what? It represents the amount of mass which is traveling through this pipe in unit time. Okay, this is the mass flow rate. Unit would be kilogram per second. Alright, so this is about the volume flow rate and mass flow rate. Now we'll look at the continuity equation and how to apply that. The expression of continuity equation in differential form we are going to derive as we move ahead. Right now we'll just see how to apply the continuity equations in various scenarios. It's a simplified approach. So let us say we have a pipe, a tapering cross-sectional pipe. Flow is taking place from left to right. We have a discharge of Q flowing from left to right. Here we have a diameter of D1 and at this location we have diameter D2. Okay, so we have two different diameters at two different locations, D1 and D2. Now, and Q is constant. Q is the volume flow rate which we saw right now, and Q is constant. Now, how to apply the continuity equation here in this situation? What will be the continuity equation? The continuity equation states that the mass flow rate flowing through a section remains constant, which means that the mass flow rate which is flowing at this section will be equal to the mass flow rate passing through this section. Alright, so some amount of mass is flowing in this pipe, and at this section if that mass flow rate is some x, then the same amount of mass will flow at this section also in unit time. So that is the continuity equation. So according to this continuity equation, we can write, so let us say these are sections 1 and 2. So mass flow rate at section 1 will be equal to mass flow rate at section 2. Okay, so what is the mass flow rate at section 1? We saw earlier what is the mass flow rate, rho into Q. So here Q is what? Q is constant, so it will be rho 1. Let us say rho 1 is the mass density at this location and rho 2 is the mass density at location number 2. So it will be rho 1 Q is equal to mass flow rate at section 2 would be rho 2 into Q. Alright, Q is the volume flow rate. Now this volume flow rate can be written as, we have this rho 1, we have this A1 into V1. Here the velocity would be, of course, V1, it will be some velocity, some average velocity of this section, and here the average velocity would be some V2. Alright, and V1 and V2 will not be same. Why? Because that we'll discuss now. Because A1 and A2 are different. Alright, so we have here rho 2, A2 into V2. Okay, so why these velocities would be different? Because we have different areas and Q is constant. So if your mass densities are not changing, if rho 1 is equal to rho 2, okay, so if rho 1 is equal to rho 2, what we are getting? We have A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. Okay, this is very important equation that we regularly use whenever the rho is constant throughout the flow. Now it means that now in this section you see A1 is greater than A2. Alright, so if A1 is greater than A2, V1 would be less than V2 to satisfy this equation. Alright, so whenever the flow is taking place from larger area to smaller area, if the discharge is constant, then the velocity has to increase to maintain the mass flow rate. Alright, so that is your continuity equation. So we can use this equation or this equation whenever we need we have to find out the V1 and V2, or let us say area or velocity. So this is how we can apply the continuity equation. Now we'll see some examples of different type of fluid flows. So first we'll see an example of steady uniform flow. So what can be an example of this steady uniform flow? Let's say you have a pipe and its diameter is constant. And this diameter is constant. So you have constant diameter. Okay, so constant diameter means area is constant. Okay, and again the volume flow rate through this pipe Q, this is also, let us say, it is not changing, so Q is also constant. Okay, now what will happen? What type of flow it will become? See, Q is constant means volume flow rate is constant. Okay, so the volume of fluid that is flowing per unit time is constant. So if you take any location, let us say it is 1 1, or let us say another 2 2 also, take any location. Okay, at any location is the velocity changing with time? Okay, does the velocity change with time? No. Why? Because q is constant. So if here velocity is, let us say, v1, then it will not change with time because q is constant. So v will also become constant. So that means this flow is a steady flow, since discharge is not changing. Discharge is constant. Okay, so this type of flow is a steady flow, and again it is also uniform flow. So this has become steady now. Now how this flow is uniform? Let us see. Take any instant of time, let us say right now. At this instant of time, is the velocity changing with space? Let's check at two different locations. This is location 1, location 2. So here velocity is, say, let us say v2. Okay, this is v1 and this is v2. Now these velocities are the same or different? So how to see that? We have the continuity equation. Continuity equation states that a1 v1 will be equal to a2 v2. Now here in this case diameter is constant, so area of pipe is constant, therefore a1 will be equal to a2. Okay, therefore according to continuity equation v1 should also be equal to v2. Therefore this flow is a uniform flow. Okay, if the velocities were different, it would be a non-uniform flow. Okay, so a constant discharge flowing through a pipe having constant diameter is an example of a steady uniform flow. Okay, because it satisfies both the steadiness and uniformity criteria. Okay, now next is, next type of flow we'll see steady non-uniform flow. Steady and non-uniform flow. So it's quite simple. So you have a pipe, say, suppose, but its cross section is, say, varying. So now it is, say, decreasing. Okay. Okay, you have a pipe like this. Here, if you have discharge as constant. Okay, so let us say there must be some wall, a butterfly wall attached to this pipe, and you are not changing the wall, you are keeping it constant. So flow is taking place constantly and it is not changing, the volume is not changing. So your discharge is constant. Okay, however, so if the discharge is constant, already this flow becomes a steady flow. Okay, so we know that as we discussed now. However, in this case we have changed the diameters. So here we have a different diameter. At one we have D1 and here we have D2. Okay, now according to the continuity equation, what we have? We have A1 V1 should be equal to A2 V2. But here the diameters are not constant, diameters are changing. Therefore, A1 is not equal to A2. Okay, specifically A1 is greater than A2. Therefore, V1 will not be equal to V2. Rather, V1 would be less than V2, since it has to satisfy the continuity equation. This is V1, this is V2. So V1 will not be equal to V2. Therefore, the flow is non-uniform, since the velocities are changing with respect to space at a given point of time. So this becomes an example of steady non-uniform flow. So constant discharge passing through a pipe of varying diameter is an example of steady non-uniform flow. Now we'll see an example of a unsteady uniform flow. So let us consider, now you have already understood till now that to change for the flow to be steady or unsteady, it depends upon the volume flow rate or discharge. So unsteady flow means the discharge should vary, of course. So you take a pipe of constant cross section, so D is constant, okay, but you change the discharge, Q is not constant. How you can do that? If you have a wall which is controlling the flow, you change the wall continuously. So what you would get, your volume flow rate will change. At every instant, your volume flow rate will change. Sometimes you will get 4 liters cube per second. Sometimes you will get 6 liters cube per second in this space. So your volume flow rate will keep on changing. So this becomes an example. This becomes the flow becomes unsteady. Again, if you see what happens with the space. So at these two locations we have velocities V1 and V2. However, the area of cross section are same since the diameters are same. So this flow will not change, the velocities of this flow will not change with respect to space. Okay. So this flow is a uniform flow. So if you have a constantly changing discharge flowing through a constant diameter pipe, then that becomes an example of unsteady uniform flow. Now it is quite intuitive that if you think about it closely, then this situation is quite ideal, and it's very difficult to achieve in real life, because if you change discharge at this point, it will take some time to change the velocities. So velocities may not be same at any point across the pipe. So it is a kind of an ideal situation, might not be possible in reality, but theoretically when we think about the types, this is how you can imagine an unsteady uniform flow. Alright, now the last type is the unsteady non-uniform flow. So the example is quite simple. So to maintain unsteadiness, to create unsteadiness, what we have to do? We have to keep changing the discharge. So just keep changing the discharge, and to achieve non-uniformity, we have to keep changing the flow area so that your velocities will change spatially. So if you have a pipe of like this, if you have an expanding cross section like this, flow is expanding here in a pipe, and your discharge is not constant. So your discharge is not constant, so your flow has become unsteady already. Okay, and at any point of time, if you check the velocities at different locations, it will be different. This will be V1, this will be V2. V1 will not be equal to V2. Because of the continuity equation, as we have seen, areas are different, so velocities will also be different at any point of time and in space. So the flow becomes non-uniform. Okay, so a constantly varying discharge flowing through a pipe of varying diameter becomes an example of unsteady non-uniform flow. Generally we get this type of flows. This type of flows are very common. You can observe this kind of flows. Only this type of flow, unsteady uniform flow, is quite difficult to achieve. Alright, so all three can be easily achieved, and we can see this practically also. So these are all the 4 type of flows. Now in the next lecture we will try to see what is the acceleration in the fluids and what type of accelerations exist in all these 4 type of flows.